like any other compliance mechanism, we start with a trigger. So basically, someone providing information of when a party might be in non-compliance. So for the Montreal Protocol, the triggers are threefold. So it might be a party itself, that as I was explaining, it might refer itself to the compliance committee or to the implementation committee. It might be another party or group of parties referring a party. Or the secretariat, so the ozone secretariat, might actually have information by looking at the annual reports from parties, and they might figure out, well, wait a minute, this party might be in non-compliance. So what happens before this goes to the implementation committee? The secretariat plays a very important role in communicating with the party, in that party concerned. Basically, can you explain, we have this information, or we got this referral from another party, can you explain what is going on? Can you provide some more information? So you have some first information exchanges between the secretariat and the party to figure out what is exactly the problem. All this before it goes to the implementation committee. And then finally, if all that information is provided and the secretariat has a clear idea, they forward all that information to the implementation committee, which will then consider what is going on. And sometimes the cases are quite straightforward, or the cases about data reporting, for example, the implementation committee might have already dealt with it for a number of years. And they have a very simple approach to it, and they might even have a blanket approval of what the secretariat was suggesting, and say, sure, this is either in compliance or this is in non-compliance. We'll deal with that in a very straightforward manner. But in other cases, it's much more complex, and then there will be a fact-finding mission, there will be deliberation and consultation with the party concerned to figure out what is actually going on. Ultimately, in the end, the implementation committee can issue a recommendation, and I'll talk about that in a second, which may be forwarded to the meeting of the parties, so the MOP, the MOP. And then finally, as part of this process, the implementation committee will monitor the situation as well, in collaboration with the multilateral fund and the implementing agencies, to figure out whether over time parties are indeed in compliance with their commitments. So triggers, I already mentioned. Again, I think the key thing here to remember is that the Ozone Secretariat plays a very, very important role. And that's not always the possibility or the case for other MEAs as well.